All right, we'll get started in just a second here. Hey, how's it going? We'll go ahead and kick things off here. So, first of all, what am I drinking? It is a Bemidji Brewing Oktoberfest. It is bready, herbal, and festive. And I'm in a festive mood. It's Friday. We made it through another week. So, cheers, everybody. Here's the start of the weekend. The kids are in bed. The wife's watching Gilmore Girls, and we're ready to get started. Herbal. Yes, indeed. It was herbal. And we'll be smoking a Rocky Patel Edge. This is the Habanos Toro. This is, I think, one of the top 10 cigars of the year about a decade ago. Well, it's a fantastic smoke. We'll light up, and I'll let you guys light up. Lighter malfunction. Hey, how's the audio? Trying a different microphone this week. Speaking of audio, so I got a live stream tomorrow with Josh Kelly over at Launch Kit Marketing. He specializes in online marketing and website development. And I bought this sucker because I got to up my game when I'm on the live stream with Josh. Got to church it up a little. All right, so what are we going to do tonight? As always, we like doing stuff and having fun. We'll set this off to the side now. We'll get started. If you got to jump off, I totally understand. So I think we're going to have another go at the Lansky. I've been doing worksharp stuff all week. And I really want to kind of perfect my Lansky technique before I start doing some videos on this. And last week, I think it was David Packman, was extremely helpful in getting me going on the Lansky. So we'll just put this sucker together, and got a couple knives to sharpen in honor of my Milwaukee, Wisconsin brethren. We got a fastback folding knife, and we got the Tradesman fixed blade Milwaukee knife. So I think we'll start small, and I'll put links to all this stuff below if you're interested. But I got the Milwaukee fastback. It's a nice knife. I just sharpened the Camel brother of this, but I can't seem to find it. So we're going to go with the red one. That's not true. I can find it. It's just a little camouflage humor. So I got this set up for an axe. So I'm thinking we won't need it to be as wide as that. I think it's centered on the blade. Got a little lip right there. And then we'll tighten her down. It just doesn't look right. I really want to cut myself. All right. There we go. See how that balances. All right. We don't even have to use a 2x4 this time. I don't like the way that looks, though. Let's Put that blade back a little bit more. I just something about having that blade just front and center like that just, maybe I'll get over it. Bedtime. Good night. Thanks for watching. So we'll get us set up here. We'll see how this sucker goes. I don't think we need to go with the coarse. I think we're going to start with a medium here. I've never sharpened this knife. I've had it just sitting in the sock drawer for a while. So. Keep it going, huh? Keep her moving. All right. Total amateur hour here. I pull one of these. Oh boy, that's in there. So they're good and tight. I need to get to the gym more. There we go. Use that one. I had somebody ask me today about the Weha screwdrivers. I'll show you here so you can see those. Yeah, so I do. This is my tinkering workbench. It's the only workbench I can keep clean enough to film on. But I 3D printed these brackets and the pegs that go in the brackets for these. So that way it can be nice and organized. Anyway, it looks good. I think so. My mom says it's cool. Let's get your back, front, and center there. All right, so for this one, got to make sure that the rod is coplanar with the stone. And I'll do that just by setting it down. Make sure there's no bends, and then we tighten it down. I think I'm going to go with a 20. So let's start. How does that look? I think we might need the help of Mr. Sharpie. But I just use a Sharpie on the blade just to kind of tell me if I'm removing material and if my removal is consistent. Kind of gives me a good gauge of A, how much I'm taking off, and B, if I'm taking it off in the right places. Because that's what counts, right, gentlemen? All right, let's give this sucker a shot. Like I said, 20 degrees. Ooh, that's crusty. I know this is preferred by professional knife sharpeners everywhere, but I'm certainly not a professional knife sharpener. I just, the worksharp is just so easy. It's just sitting there with the blade facing you. I think 20 degrees is about right. I saw that this week Worksharp released one of those cylinder sharpeners. I don't know if anybody's used any of those, but I'm interested. Let's see what we got here. You kind of see we got all the Sharpie off. I think we need to do a little bit more at the tip there. Just still a little bit Sharpie. There you go. You can see it there. Let's get that tip. I'll just get the tip just for a second. There we go. All right, now we'll flip it. We'll call this the backside. And as is tradition, we'll Sharpie it up a little bit. I got to come up with better ideas than sharpening on a Friday night, but honestly, this is just what I do. I do have some projects planned. So I'm finishing up tonight. I should be finishing up a video here. I'm doing a review, a torture test of this M18 Milwaukee top off. So I'm going on a muskie fishing trip with some of the folks here. And one of my struggles with camping is I keep everybody up and myself up because I'm a CPAP user. So finding a way to power my CPAP for a camping trip that's lightweight has just been a pipe dream. I've used everything from deep cycle batteries to some of those remote battery packs you can try out, and nothing seems to work. So I'm trying the Milwaukee M18 top off. I have tried it with, I have 2 different CPAPs. We're going to see how it works. So far the results are pretty promising. So stick around for that video. It should be coming out next Friday. Okay, now we're running into trouble here. Yep, see what we did there? Let's try mounting this again. Like I said, I just don't feel like this, and I know it's me, it's not the tool. There's people that do this for a living with this lansky. And I just struggle with it. But I've only used it a few times, so. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if this works. There we go. Let's give that a shot. We're doing the backside here. All right, we're just removing some material here. I'm using the medium grit first. Like I said, I'm kind of doing a little profiling. I've never used the lansky before on this knife. Yeah, see, it's just not holding in there very well. It's flexing on me. Let's do a little bit of checking on this. If anybody out there knows anything about these things, maybe I just need to go back farther on the blade. Maybe I'll feel better about it. Let's see what we got here. How's that? There we go. I think we're looking pretty good on that medium there. I posted that video today of the M18 transfer pump. That was fun, but also kind of sad. So that boat that I did, I pulled that boat out of the bottom of a lake. So I was, my family had some property down in Missouri, and there were a bunch of boats down the lake, and I wanted to do some fishing, one of the boats, and so I just asked, hey, do we have any boats there? Because you can't see any boats. And they said, oh, sure. People used to leave boats down there. There's 2 lakes on the property, and people used to leave boats there all the time. My grandpa, I guess, just got tired of cutting grass around them, so he'd go sink them out in the lake. And sure enough, out in the lake, there were a bunch of boats. So we went out there and went underwater, and then we took a compressor and a generator. I relight this cigar here. Took a compressor and a generator and flipped the boat upside down underwater, and pulled it up, put it in the back of the boat, and took it to a car wash and pressure washed it. And then redid it. We put a deck in, painted it, epoxied it with this stuff called, I think, Glue-Vit, which is like a aluminum boat epoxy. We were able to revive it, put some electronics on it, and bow-mounted trolling motor, and away we went. So I think my kids, the boys especially, want to restore it to its former glory so they have a boat to fish with. So I think in the spring, maybe even a little bit this winter, we'll start that project. So we'll have a series of tin boat projects. So that's the kind of thing that interests you. Stay tuned. If not, sorry, we'll have other videos. Now we're using the needle diamond stone, or no, the fine diamond stone. Hey, what was that dude's name? Screech from Saved by the Bell. Wasn't his last name Diamond? I don't know. Here, I could probably Google it. So we're just going with the fine diamond. The one thing that I find here, you can see there's a lot of play in here. I don't know how many degrees of play that is, but it's probably maybe 2 or 3 degrees of play that you have on your knife. So I don't know if that's significant, especially repeatability. The other issue is what if you don't put this knife the same distance back each time? One day it's a little bit forward, one day it's a little bit back. I think that's going to change your angle as well. So I guess if you're just doing a micro bevel each time, this probably doesn't matter. But that's one of the things that I'm not sold on the Lansky system. Now, granted, when you're using the worksharp, if you hold it at a different angle, that might influence it. But it has the guide, so you at least have a good starting point. And here, there's variability in how far back you put the knife and the blade. I believe with a curved knife, you have variability on how far up and down the blade you position the holder, as well as you have variability in the slop, in a couple degrees of slop. So, does it matter? I don't know. I'm probably not good enough to know, but or to even notice the difference. But those are some things that kind of bother me about this system. But you guys all say it's the best, so I'll give it a shot. I'll give it the old college try. Admittedly, I don't think an axe was the best way to start learning the Lansky system. So, but we did it. We got through it. And I'll tell you what, the axe is fairly sharp. Neighbors cut down some trees, so I went and had at it. And it held an edge pretty good. That Gerber pack axe. Where is that thing? Gerber pack axe is surprisingly durable. So I have one in my truck. And this one was going to go in the minivan, but I don't know. But it is pretty sharp, so I like this thing. Might have to try it on the. So we're just going to work the other side, the back side, with a fine diamond. Like I said, tomorrow night I got the live stream with Launch Kit Marketing. He's based out of Everett, Washington. But he's really responsible for kind of getting the channel off the ground and YouTube advice and how to do things. And he's just an expert in the digital marketplace. Admittedly, I don't follow most of his advice because I'm just not that technically savvy. We have, he's on TikTok and Facebook and all the, probably even on MySpace. Is that a still thing? I don't know. And this one doesn't look like it's straight, so we just kind of bend it to get it straight. Yep. Then we're going to use the ultra fine. So they skip super and very and just go right to ultra. All right. Let's make sure there's a coplanar. I think you got that. There we go. That's better. All right. Now we'll set the blade back in. I think I like this thing. Last week I mounted this to a 2x4 because the axe or the hatchet just wasn't just too heavy for this little pedestal. I think I like that better than doing it on the bench, just setting like this. Now, it does also come with, I think I got this separate. It does come with a plastic base. It gets it up a little higher, but it's not very heavy. The metal base, it's just made out of pot metal. Nothing special, but this just doesn't seem heavy enough. The one thing I don't like about this base is you twist it, as you turn it while you're sharpening the knife, this thing just comes undone a little bit. So I keep having to sharpen it. So that's another, I think a little thread lock would work if you're putting this in a permanent location. Just a little thread locker would keep that from backing out, but at least the portability of it just suffers because it doesn't stay. Now, see, I like the way this feels. I don't have any hair to test the sharpness. I did, today or last Wednesday, I think I did the guided field sharpener video. I'll show you that here. And again, this has got to be my favorite of the worksharp sharpening systems. It's got, I think a 320 or 220 here, and then it's got a 600 here, 20-degree guides on both sides. It's got 3 different grits of ceramic rods, plus it has a little ceramic rod for serrated knives. And then it has this leather strap right here. And tell you what, this thing's fantastic. Even got a little hidden compartment. You can put some tinder, or you can put, I don't know, even a key maybe in there. I don't know, small key. But yeah, I just love this thing. And next Wednesday, I'll be reviewing this guy. Tell you what, I poo-pooed this in the beginning. Just I got it because I thought, hey, this is going to be great to have. And it doesn't have a whole lot of versatility, but I think that's its strong point. You can just stick it in the zippered pouch of your fanny pack and sharpen all day. I mean, it's compact. It's really lightweight. I mean, it's plastic. You can kind of see it flexes a little bit. It's got 20-degree bevels here on this 320 grit diamond stone, and it has a 25-degree bevel right here on the ceramic rod, or 25-degree guide. That just gives you a micro bevel on your knife. And you can always resharpen it when you get home, but this is, for what it is, something to keep in your pack and take out in the field. Yeah, I think I'll be using this a lot more. I'm probably going to take it with me on my fishing trip this weekend. Of course, this thing never leaves my truck, so this is my spare. I got 3 of these things, so I really like this one, but this one is definitely growing on me. I'm glad I did the video, because otherwise I probably wouldn't have given it the time of day. So where were we? I think we were sharpening a knife here. Oh, cut an apple. That's a good idea. Well, as luck would have it, it's apple picking season here in an Arm and a Greg. We have bushels and bushels of apples just sitting right here by the workbench, getting ready to process them into all kinds of stuff: apple butter, apple sauce, apple chips, and of course, just plain apples. So we have 5 apple trees in our yard. 3 Honeycrisp, a Harrelson, a Harrell Red, a State Fair apple. Oh, I can't remember what the other one was, but yeah. So we like our apple trees. And our neighbors make apple wine. So that's a pretty fair trade. You give the neighbors apples, they give you apple wine. That's a fair deal, I think. And everybody likes those Honeycrisp. We didn't have any Honeycrisp apples this year. It's kind of one of those hit or miss things. You'll get. See, I gotta tighten the thing again. You get a year where you get dozens and dozens and dozens of, which would be hundreds of Honeycrisp apples. And you have a year where you just get a couple, and then you'll have a year like this year where you don't get any. We had some really diseased trees this year, so I was thinking I was going to have to cut them down. I ended up just spraying them with, going on Reddit and finding an arborist that deals with fruit trees, and I used, I want to say it's copper sulfide or copper sulfate. Well, you just to spray that in a liquid iron mixture. And I just sprayed them every 2 weeks, and man, they never looked better. So didn't seem to impact the apples at all. Just we washed them, but I haven't sprayed in a while. I just did it during the pre-apple growing season. And they have been delicious this year. Now, see, as I was sharpening, this thing pivoted a little bit. No, not a fan, I think. So the next grit here, I'll set this off to the side. Now we got the sapphire stone. Sapphire. So I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it's made of sapphire. Maybe it has sapphire impregnated in there. I don't know. Maybe they found it in a club somewhere, dancing with Mercedes and Porsche. And they decided to name it Sapphire. We'll see. All right, let's give the Sapphire a shot here. I know some of you up past your bedtime, and I really appreciate it. Anybody else drinking anything tonight? I think tomorrow night we're busting out the whiskey bottle. Now we got here again. Oh, party foul. So old. Yeah, it's past my bedtime too. Well, the reason why I do these things at 10:30 at night, Central Daylight Time, is because I got 6 kids. I'm at work all week and just hang out with them. We just watched a movie tonight. We watched Beetlejuice. That's always a fun one. And then as soon as they're in bed, it's time to come out to the shop and do some projects, and you can come do them with me. Now we'll do the back side. Again, comes loose again. And we're just going with the sapphire stone. Let's take a look at the edge here. It's definitely sharp. Let's pull this off here. And let's drop it. If it's dropping, I don't mind dropping it without a rod. It's my favorite part. Feel like an old-timey barber, dagnabbit. Floyd the Barber, right, from Andy Griffith's show. Played by the amazing Howard McNear, I think was his name, or Howard McNair. Not that old. All right, I'm not that old. We just had Nick at Night growing up. But TV was, I think, better back then. Dagnabbit. I do usually when I'm hanging out in the shop, when I'm not hanging out with you guys, I like to listen to Radio Classics on XM. It's channel 148 is Radio Classics. It's old-timey radio shows. Tell you what, it's like an audio book, but it's just a time capsule. It just takes you back to a different era. Entertainment was just so amazing back then. You know, they didn't need a screen. Just with a couple of Foley sound effects guys, they could take you anywhere in the universe. And some of the writing on those shows was amazing. Some of it's outdated, but even some of the comedies. Like again, I'm not that old, but if you haven't had a listen to Jack Benny, boy, I tell you what, his stuff is still funny. It is still quality comedy. I find myself chuckling pretty often during his shows. So just food for thought. If you got XM radio and you're sitting in your shop bored one day, just give Radio Classics a listen. Of course, hockey season started. I'm going to get an apple. We're going to cut an apple. Toss the microphone over here. Beverage, a cigar, and an apple. So let's see how this does. Like butter. All right, there we go. Oh yeah, look at that. I'm definitely gonna eat those. Yeah, I think that'll work. Yeah, so I mean, the Lansky, does it work? Will it sharpen a knife? Oh yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm moving the mic so you don't have to listen to me chew. I'll set these off to the side here. We'll have them here in a bit. Yeah, the Lansky, I mean, it'll definitely sharpen. It's, I mean, I don't know. It's just not for me. I'll keep giving more opportunities to shine. But a couple things that I just right off the bat that I don't like, and apple beer and a cigar, absolutely nothing finer. Breakfast of champions. So I just you have that up and down play. You have the variability of where you put your knife, how far back you put it, and how far forward on the blade you put it. I think that might even be more pronounced on something like this this Milwaukee tradesman knife. And I got this before a muskie trip. I was going on a musky trip and I didn't have a knife. I forgot my fixed blade knife. I like having a fixed blade when I'm out camping. And so I stopped off at Home Depot. They had this fella here, and it just seemed like a good idea. So probably didn't sharpen it out in line. I probably did sharpen it. Yep. We'll see. All right. Well, yeah, that's going to be a problem. It doesn't. It just wants to tip over. We got a couple of options. We can put it closer to the center of gravity. Try that first. There we go. Sorry, you can't see. We'll try that. But then the problem there is down here. Can you get? Oh yeah, you can get down there. Move my beer out of the way here. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen. I want the cigar to go out again. Yeah, so we'll try this one at 20 degrees as well. I wonder if it's actually 20 degrees. Well, I'll keep the Sharpie out. I wonder if it's actually 20 degrees. I mean, I haven't measured. I could probably go check. I got a blade or an angle checker. But I don't think the number matters. 20, 21, 25, as long as it's sharp, right? Ooh, that medium really bites in there. Well, we're removing a lot of material. So I don't think this knife was originally 20 degrees. Or this isn't 20 degrees, one of the two. Let's see what we got here. Wipe it on my pants. Yep, all the Sharpie's gone. It's funny, I don't know if you can see that, but there's still some Sharpie near the edge here. Right here near the edge is Sharpie. So I don't know if the blade is just ground kind of wonky or if my technique's bad. Let's work those areas just a little more. See if we got it. Clean the blade off here. Yeah, I don't see any deal. It looks like there's still some around the edge here on the trailing edge, which I'm okay with that. You can kind of see the tip there. That's kind of a weird geometry, but I think that's the knife. I don't think that's the Lansky. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. Yeah, it kind of almost comes out to a point. Well, obviously comes out to a point, but it's rounded and then it's 0.6 out past the round. I can live with that though. Again, we got to tighten this sucker back up. Grab our magical Sharpie. So it's the knife because I can see it over here. Yeah, I'll show you what I'm looking at. So you have this geometry that comes up here. You have this geometry that comes here, and then there's a line that comes out, and it's round to this line here, and then it kind of comes out more as a point, so it kind of juts out a little bit. So that's the knife. We can sharpen that out. All right, let's go back to our medium here. Yeah, see, it's a lot more pronounced on this side of the knife. But, I mean, that's already 10 strokes or so with the medium stone, and it hasn't even touched this Sharpie right here. So that's the knife. That's not the Lansky. But it's not as bad on this side. Yeah, you can't see focus. You just got to be sharp enough to cut an apple. Give the people what they want. At least it's not tearing up the knife. One of my complaints of sharpening with the hatchet, you can see this, it just scratched the heck out of the hatchet. I think just because it's so long, the Lansky was at such a shallow angle, because it was sharpening way out here, being clamped right here, but it just scratched the heck out of that blade, both sides. That could also be inexperience with the tool, or it's not designed to do what I was asking it to do. Either way, still kind of annoying. I see it's moving again. All right, well, they're not pushing very hard. I think this is the knife, though. I don't think it's wipe this off and see how we look. I think a little thread locker on this would really help because it just keeps working itself loose. Again, that could just be bad technique on my part. You know, we sharpened an axe with it. We sharpened this guy here. I'm not paid by Milwaukee, and I'm not even really a Milwaukee fanboy. I just was at Home Depot and needed a knife, and these came in a 2-pack. So anyway, that being said, I do like Milwaukee stuff. I was a Craftsman guy before that, but that was back in the day when you go to Sears and find stuff made in America. Even some of their power tools were made in America. Their Craftsman Professional line, I remember, was made in the USA. I had quite a bit of that. Still have almost all my Craftsman hand tools. So I've kind of been looking for made in America hand tools. Keep moving. I got this thing lumped in there pretty tight. I never tried the new 2.0 made in America Craftsman. They kind of lost me back when Sears started going out of business. I moved on. It's a lot harder to sharpen this knife, but I think the blade. And we still got some Sharpie on there, which that's concerning. But again, I think that's the knife more than it's me. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. You can see that tip right there. It still has some Sharpie on there. You can see it. Yeah, there it is. It still has some Sharpie on here. I don't want to take any more material off. There's still some Sharpie right here. That's good enough for government work, I guess. And again, tighten that base down. So now we move to the, that was fine. Now we move to the ultra fine. Put this one off to the side. Yeah, so we kind of talked about some of the projects we had planned. We got a couple of videos coming out next week. I try to release Monday, Wednesday, Friday a long form video, and one of the things, you know, I haven't really, that's hard to explain. I don't think I've done my best job. I think I can do better on some of these long form videos. I'm not really impressed with the quality. They're not that polished. I'm still learning, still getting equipment. I don't have a lot of expensive stuff. You know, I don't do this for a living. I'm not monetized. I don't make any money off of YouTube. Nobody's sending me free products. But I'm trying to improve the quality of the videos. So hopefully next week's videos, you'll see I've made some changes to try and improve the audio quality and just the overall production value of the video. I'm learning to edit as we go, and I'm learning how to frame shots and take shots and camera settings kind of as we're going along. I know nothing about this stuff. I just know I enjoy doing stuff in the garage and having fun. So hopefully they get better. Unfortunately, I didn't start with this live stream, so you're stuck. Well, you're not stuck. You can just sign off, right? But I'm more doing this for me. I appreciate it, though. I'm not very good, as you can tell, at talking to the camera and doing that stuff. So I figured these live streams, even if nobody watches, or even if only one person watches, hi, Mom. Even if only one person's watching, there's still a chance to practice and figure out what I don't like. And you guys get to be the guinea pig. But the beauty is you don't have to be the guinea pig. You can just sign off anytime you want. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, I think that looks about right. Let's go with the stripper rod, or the sapphire rod. Lansky makes all kinds of different rods. So they make a diamond stone, right? So these are the diamond series. And they make a ceramic stone. Then they make an Arkansas stone, hard, soft, medium. So they make all kinds of different grits. I'm not sure how they all fit together. But or if you just want to go with one and not the other. Now they're a dry stone. They're not supposed to be lubed. No oil, no water. As far as I understand, the diamond stones are that way. That actually is starting to look pretty decent. Flip it over to the back side, and then we'll strop. Again, we got to tighten that up. Then do the apple test. Probably butchering this thing. All right, let's take a look here. Pop it out. And let's drop it out. I did put, didn't come with it, but I put a little bit of, it's starting to wear out, a little bit of green jeweler's rouge on there, a little white petroleum jelly or Vaseline on there just to help the strop last a little longer and help lubricate the blade. Well, let's take a look here. Clean this sucker off. See how she does with the apple test. Oh yeah, I think that's not bad at all. What do you guys think? Oh yeah, that'll work. She's pretty sharp. The Lansky, yeah, gets the job done. Oh yeah, that's a sharp knife. Okay. So I appreciate you joining me for the live stream. We sharpened this Milwaukee Tradesman knife and Milwaukee folding fastback knife. Hope it doesn't have a assist open. And then it has, oh yeah, there we go. Just gotta be smart in the button. Using the Lansky system. What's the verdict? Well, again, like last week, I think the Lansky sharpening system has a pretty steep learning curve. There's lots of variability in the process. You're kind of limited in the size knife you can sharpen. They do make serrated ceramic rods that you can go and, I think even ceramic diamond rods. You can go and you can sharpen serrations. And I imagine that would probably be better than a worksharp system like this. So it might be better for serrated knives, but yeah, you're just limited by the geometry. I mean, at least with this one, you can take the stone off and you can sharpen a machete. You can do whatever you want because you just got the stone in your hand. You can just stick a magnet on there and you have a holder. So, and I think the worksharp systems are just a little bit more polished than the Lansky systems. Like I said, there's a little bit too much slop in this. And these rods can be bent. I'm just making excuses, but yeah, I'll just keep trying. Next week, I'm not going to do a live stream of a sharpening video, so I'll spare you that again. This isn't a sharpening channel necessarily. It just happens to be something I can do right now. I got a lot of stuff in the garage, a lot of projects in the works, but really until I get all this junk out of the garage. By junk, I mean 67 Mustang, kids' bikes, hockey equipment, scuba equipment. So we're getting ready to swap over for winter here. It was raining today. I was planning on doing it today. But then we convert the shop into a wood shop and we get ready for ice fishing season. So that's the plan right now. I had a lot of woodworking projects coming. Like I said, I got a couple of Milwaukee videos in the pipeline for next week. And another 3D printing video. Hopefully you like those. Just a good way of integrating a 3D printer into your wood shop or your metalworking shop or whatever. You don't have to know anything about programming. You don't have to know how to do CAD software. I mean, literally, you can just go online, find the file you want, and print it out. And as your skills progress, you can design and print stuff. It's not that hard. I'll show you a couple things that I designed here in a future video. Not a lot. My design skills are pretty subpar, but yeah, they're great tools. And for the cost of a Milwaukee drill, you can get a 3D printer set up and make your own jigs, make holders for screwdrivers like the ones I have there. I'm not using it right now, but this gantry system, this is all 3D printed here. It'll hold a microphone or to hold a GoPro camera. You can kind of see it's all 3D printed. And then tons of bins and organizers. So I have all my Dremel stuff organized in they come in different sizes. They're all stackable. They nest or they stack. And just a great way to organize your workshop. I mean, I just can't stress enough how much this has really improved my organization game. Now I really can fit 20 pounds of crap in a 5-pound sack. So it really helps out. So if you want to see more of that kind of stuff or you absolutely hate that stuff, let me know. But as always, I had fun. I appreciate you joining me, and thanks for watching.